Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Red Wing Shoes, located in the shops at Centerpoint in Grand Rapids at the corner of 28th Street and the Beltline. The store has everything you need for the worksite or the woods. Stop in or check them out online at redwingshoes.com. And by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson-Silik, and we've got another all-new show for you this week. We're going to kick it off with brook trout fishing. Now that's something you can do all across our great state in lots of little creeks and streams along the way. Jordan Brown's going to take us to the central part of the Lower Peninsula for a day of chasing after brookies. You won't want to miss that story. And Jimmy's got a lot of other exciting things in store for us this week too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. A few more things on this week's show. We're going to take a look at what happens when a couple different conservation groups get together. It's a pretty cool story. You won't want to miss that. We're also going to take a look at the Archery in the Schools program. There's some really cool things going on around the state of Michigan. And we're going to stop in with our friends at Williams Gun Sight to learn a little bit more about picking out a handgun and some things you should know as someone who's maybe taking a CPL class or has already taken one. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Grilla Grills of Holland, Michigan, makers of wood pellet, charcoal grills, and professional pellet smokers. Grilla Grills are designed for ease of use to improve your grilling and smoking skills. More information at grillagrills.com. By AnglerQuest Pontoons, a mid-Michigan company building boats for fishermen by fishermen. AnglerQuest Pontoons are designed for comfort and functionality. On the web at anglerquestpontoons.com.
Soaking in the rich tradition of Michigan hunting for over 30 years, Vanguard is proud to sponsor our friends at Michigan Out of Doors TV.
So we're in central upper Michigan. We're targeting brook trout today. We're going to be using spinners, and we're just wading upstream today. All right, first one of the day. I started trout fishing when I was 10 or 12, really wasn't into it. My buddy Mark got me into it. I still remember my first, I caught a 14-inch brown, and you know, I've been hooked ever since. It's, you know, I try to fish different streams, and you never know what's going to be around the next bend. Sweet. Good fish. You know, the brookies and browns, the browns, you know, you get a 20-inch brown that, you know, hits right at your feet, or it's exciting, and especially the brookies, they're so beautiful, and you know, if you can catch a 12 or 13-inch brookie or even an 8, it's, you know, the beauty of them is just, it's unbelievable. Maybe the third time. He's fighting. There we go. All right. Well, we just picked up another one here. A little bit better size. Yeah, they're gorgeous fish, that's for sure. So we had some rain last night. I thought it'd murk it up a little bit better than it did, but it's pretty clear. We're about maybe halfway through the stretch, maybe a quarter. We've got 4 brookies so far. I think the biggest has been about 12. So we got some nice bends coming up here, so hopefully we can get in some nice fish here soon. I've always seemed to, you know, I'm always trying to move in the stream. So spinners have always been kind of my #1 lure. Rapalas, if you get a darker water, Rapalas are real good. Or if you're trying to target bigger fish. And even, you know, if you're fishing a deeper hole, if you want to use worms, you know, some of those bigger fish are on the bottom of those holes, and using worms can be an advantage to you. But overall, spinners are, you know, my kind of go-to. All right. We're getting some fish. Beautiful fish. They're still pretty, you know. All right. Yeah. Oh! That was a big fish. Dang it. Wading small streams is kind of, you never know what's around the next bend. It's the nature that you're walking with. You know, you could see an otter or you could see a herring. You know, just the different wildlife that you're seeing, different bends, and then if you're lucky, you might get a, you know, pretty good sized brookie too. So it's always a bonus if you can get a, you know, get a fish on top of just seeing the scenery. So, all right. Alrighty, there we go. Beautiful fish. Get a little shot of them.
As Ben and I made our way upstream, we talked about the uniqueness of trout fishing and how although everyone likes to catch big trout, that's not really what it's all about. Every trout, no matter what the size, looks a little bit different, and there's always a sense of excitement once you get one in the net to see exactly what it looks like.
All right. Different colors on that guy. Well, we got another one in the net here. It's been a little bit since we caught a fish. Nice little bend here. That's pretty. We picked one up. Beautiful colors on this fish. Wow. That's the prettiest one of the day. Been a while. We finally got another one. Look at that. The colors on him. So we're getting to the end of the stretch. We had a couple big ones today. We had 10% chance of rain, but she's been raining most of the day. I think today we got 10 to 12 pretty decent fish. A couple big ones that flashed, but we're gonna keep going and hopefully we get a couple more before the end of the stretch here. Little guy.
We caught several nice fish throughout the day and a handful of small ones, but that's the beauty about this kind of fishing. It's really not about how many or how big, it's about quality time on the water, and it's hard to beat fishing for brook trout in a small stream here in Michigan. Special thanks to Ben for inviting me out for a fun morning on the water.
In this next segment, we're going to take a look at how one school is getting kids into the sport of archery. The Perry Middle School Archery Club is one of the many schools across Michigan that take part in the National Archery in the Schools program, or NASP for short. The club started a few years ago and goes hand in hand with the curriculum that is taught during school hours. Travis Rockefeller works with the middle schoolers and says the program and the club have been highly popular with the students.
The NASP program stands for National Archery in the Schools program. It was started in 2002. It's headed up by the DNR. And it's a very successful program, many participants. The kids that participate in NASP enjoy it very much. Not only do I teach NASP as a unit during phys ed, I also run a club that can accommodate about 50 participants. And then I also, I have a team. I have an archery team, and that's what they're doing right now. They're practicing for a regional tournament coming up. So basically what I do is during my unit, during the school year, I teach them all the necessary skills they need to be a successful archer. That includes the 11 steps to be a successful archer. It covers stance, anchor, release, there's several of them, and they rehearse that in their head as they shoot. And when they do that, they become much more efficient shooters. And also, we teach them whistle commands, and we teach them how to take care of the equipment. It's very nice equipment and they respect it and really appreciate having nice stuff. And it's a unique opportunity for the middle school kids to be able to shoot bows because that's not a very common practice in a PE setting.
The archery club has been very popular at Perry schools, and in case you were wondering, there hasn't been one accident since it began, which makes it the safest program that any school can offer. It's also an excellent teaching tool. The kids can learn much more than just how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Teaching NASP in the school here as a unit and even during my club and the players on my team teaches a great deal of life skills. It improves their focus and self-discipline. It teaches them to aim high, to set goals, and it builds confidence in them. And the other thing that I like about the team aspect is they learn to work together and have fantastic teamwork. It also helps with coordination and balance. So these are all really important skills to have as they, mature and grow.
So why do you like this?
I really enjoy shooting because it relaxes me.
I get to shoot with my friends if they're here with me, and I also get to level up in experience, I guess.
I like archery because you don't have to it's just chill.
I've been shooting quite a while because my dad hunts, so I kind of took after that to shoot bows, and it's really fun. We shoot 10 and 15 meters. We shoot about the same for each distance, and good to practice each distance for the tournament.
I hunt with a bow now, so like, it makes me feel like I'm out in the wild, just like aiming for the perfect shot.
The culmination of the year is regional NASP competitions. These tournaments take place at schools all across the U.S. Archery teams compete with identical bows that do not have sights at both 10 and 15 meters with approved arrows to even out the playing field.
This is the Central Michigan Regional Tournament. There's over 300 schools in the state that have the program in physical education classes during school. And I would say there's probably between school districts, there's probably like 15, and so you got different, and there's 3 different divisions. There's an elementary division, a middle school division, and a high school division. So it goes all the way from 4th grade to 12th grade. I'm a phys ed teacher, middle school PE teacher. Been doing it for about 11 years now. I've taught over 2,200 kids how to do archery in PE, and so it's like every single kid I've had have been able to do it, whether they have some kind of a disability or something. It's the way the program was developed, it's incredibly safe. There's basically been 0 injuries. It's the safest sport to do in PE. It's become more popular in Little League Baseball. About 3.5 million kids a year are participating, and allows kids to be successful right away because it's developed with the 11 steps to success. Some kids have never touched a bow before, and all of a sudden they just fall in love with it, and the parents are buying them bows. You'd be amazed how many of my parents have put archery ranges in their basement. So it's amazed me how it's really taken off. I've got over 70 kids between our high school and middle school involved. When I have my open house in the fall, it's the first question a lot of parents ask: when does archery start? When does archery start?
The NASP program is a huge success. The Perry Middle School kids came in 3rd in their region and have consistently improved over the years. Special thanks to those involved with the program. It's great seeing kids involved in the shooting sports, especially during school.
Well, we as Michiganders are pretty fortunate. We have a lot of great conservation groups all over the state, and what really kind of piques my interest is when they start working together, it's amazing what they can get done.
A few weeks back found me just north of Grand Rapids for a very cool fundraiser aimed at raising money for kids events both for the local Trout Unlimited chapter and the local Rough Grouse chapter.
Well, I'm one of the organizers, president of RGS, Grand Rapids chapter, and just really out here trying to make sure everybody has a great time. Well, we had, this year we had registered shooters, casters of about 60 participants. We started the day with sporting clays. We shot around 50 round sporting clays, and then we move into some casting fun with the fly rod. So yeah, just a great way to have a good partnership between 2 great chapters in the West Michigan area.
All the work is shared between the 2 groups, and just to make things easy, all of the money raised, well, it's split right down the middle.
So it's great. All the proceeds we split 50-50. Half of it goes towards the Rough Grouse youth hunt every year in January, where we have 18 participants, ages 13 to 18. The other half goes towards Salmon in the Classroom, which is a big program here in Grand Rapids for the Trout Unlimited chapter.
Now, I just recently shot this course, and let me tell you, sporting clays can make you very humble very quick. It's a great way to hone your shooting skills or let you know how lacking your shooting skills may be. But that's just part of the fun when you're doing this with your buddies.
Is that why you hunt with these guys, Al? They let the birds for you?
Oh, yeah. I go because they're great conservationists. Aren't we all?
That is one.
And then as far as the shooting shells, we like them shooting shells. That puts more money in for fish and wildlife. It's a great team of people to be with.
So the course has about 15 stations, and you shoot about 50 shots. After that, the guys headed to the casting part of the competition, where they were scored on their ability to get a Velcro fly to fly where it was supposed to.
Velcro on the end of the lines, and they are casting. The Velcro inside the hula hoop is 1 point. If they hook the Velcro trout, that's 3 points. They have 5 stations, so it's a cumulative score between the sporting clays course and the casting course.
Okay. And is it about half TU guys and half Rough Grouse guys here today?
No, I think it's mostly shooters, to be honest. I think TU make the smaller portion of this.
Okay.
But Kent County Conservation League is very supportive of Shrems, the local TU chapter here. We want to be supportive of them too. And it's kind of a natural between Rough Grouse and Trout Unlimited. I think the upland bird guys are fly fishermen and vice versa a lot.
It was a great day for sure. Lots of clays to miss and lots of laughs watching some of the guys attempt to cast a fly rod. Overall, it was a win-win for everyone here today.
Well, this is a really exciting group between West Michigan, Schrems West Michigan TU, and the Grand Rapids Rough Grouse Society because of bringing two conservation groups together, the importance of conservation, but mostly it's a fundraiser for youth. Schrems West Michigan TU does the Salmon in the Classroom program throughout Kent County, and the funds that they raise today is going to go to Salmon in the Classroom. So inner city youth, county youth understand how salmon come out of the eggs and then are released into the stream in a cold water conservation. As far as RGS goes, it's going to offset our youth hunt that we do each year to, again, talk to youth, young men and young women, about the importance of young successional forest, the importance of wing shooting, safety, dog training.
So quite often if you walk directly behind the dog, you may make the dog nervous and it may go forward and bump the bird. So you'll be coming around to the side.
Okay.
One side or the other, depending. And that's a trick you'll keep with you your whole hunting life if you're hunting behind pointing dogs.
And it's a wonderful opportunity to blend two groups together, and it really is a wonderful opportunity to get conservation-minded organizations and sportsmen together.
So if you live in the mid-Michigan area, this event may be worth looking into next year. Or even better, maybe the conservation group that you belong to can partner with another one in your area and do the same thing. Oh, you're not in a conservation club of some kind? Well, now is your chance. The boys at the Rough Grouse Society, TU, DU, Pheasants Forever, SCI, well, they'd all love to have you partner with them this upcoming year.
Well, hey, we are here today in Davison, Michigan at Williams Gun Site. We're here with Jeff Swartek. Jeff, we're going to talk a little about handguns today. I know you guys have a ton, you sell a ton. What are some common mistakes you see when people are purchasing a handgun?
Buying a gun they're not comfortable with. Buying a gun they're not familiar with. Revolver versus semi-automatic, which one is going to work best for them? What is the gun purchased for? Is it for target shooting? Is it for carrying and carrying concealed? No one gun's perfect for every scenario.
Gotcha. So so you got a gun, you're getting kind of familiar with it. Maybe it's going to be a carry gun. You're thinking, maybe should I take that CPL class? What does that CPL class really entail? How many hours is that? That kind of stuff.
A minimum of 8 hours, minimum 8 hours. Yeah, we will shoot up to 100 rounds of ammunition between 3, 5, and 7 yards. We have a law enforcement agent and our attorney come in and teach you a legal portion, where we can carry, where we should not carry, the pistol-free zones, all the information pertaining to the purchase, transfer, and possession of firearms.
And is that a pretty popular class? I mean,
it's a very popular class. Okay. Very popular class, yes.
Now, when people take that, they then maybe think that they're, obviously they can carry, but what would you coach someone who has a CPL that maybe doesn't do a lot of shooting? What can they learn from some of the classes they could take here?
Yeah, the CPL is the basics. It's the basics. I've done the requirements. The state of Michigan requires me to get my CPL. Well, now what do I do? Well, now when you learn to properly carry the gun, what type of holster to use, where I'm wearing it inside the waistband, outside the waistband, how to draw that gun from the holster properly.
And then, so some of these advanced classes that you get to, I know you have some of the, we're going to show some of the folks doing some of that tactical stuff. What does that kind of simulate, and what are you trying to teach those folks in that?
Scenarios. It's scenario-based drills. We're showing people how to evade if at all possible, but if we do need to use force, how to use cover and concealment, proper trigger control, proper movement with the gun, keeping the muzzle pointing in a safe direction, keeping fingers off the trigger when not acquiring your target.
Is that a pretty easy, do you take that one time? Is it a series of classes? How does that work?
It's a series of classes. We have crawl, walk, and run, red, white, and blue. We start out from the basics for people that do not have the skills, and we work through.
Okay. And is that just from the area here, or do you have people coming a long ways to take those classes?
We have people from all over, several different states, as well as people from Canada that come down here to enjoy the range and get some training and education.
And you guys do some one-on-one stuff here too?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people don't feel comfortable in a classroom environment. We offer one-on-one training with our qualified instructors on a daily basis.
Wow, well, those are good tips for us. And hey, we're over here in Davison, Michigan at Williams Gun Site. Jeff, thanks for your time. We just really appreciate you guys kind of showing us what you have to offer here.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. We hope you're all out there enjoying this Michigan summertime weather we're having. Now, speaking of summer, we've got a lot of exciting outdoor adventures headed your way yet this summer. We'll take you out big lake fishing both on Lake Huron and on Lake Michigan. We'll also be chasing after some muskies and lots of other great things headed your way. If you'd like to see where we are and where we're headed next, what we're doing on a daily basis, you can always do that by checking us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is a great way to check us out. You can find us at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com. We have full episodes of the show there, all of our wild game recipes, lots of good stuff there. And make sure you are joining us over the next couple of weeks. We're going to do a little turtle trapping. We're going to do some big lake fishing, some small lake fishing. We're also going to sit down with the DNR and learn a little bit more about chronic wasting disease and some of the new regulations that are out there when it comes to deer hunting for this upcoming year. Lots of good stuff coming over the next few weeks. Make sure that you are getting outside, and if we don't see it in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or greenstonefcs.com. By the locally owned and operated members of the Michigan Petroleum Association and the National Oil Heat Research Alliance, who provide oil heat with BioHeat, a renewable fuel source designed to benefit the home and the environment. Details on the web at useoilheatmichigan.com. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. With its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses, Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above